Hey, my name is Juan Alfaro, and this is going to be my testimony for Daniel on entry level sales. Before I met Daniel, I have been trying to get into the high ticket sales space and a closer position for around 3 months or so. And basically, I wasn't getting hired. People were telling me I didn't have experience and I didn't have a track record. And just it was really tough those 3 months, and it just messed with me mentally, emotionally. I mean, you get the point. And a lot of you are probably in the same position I was at. And basically, it just seemed impossible at the time that I was actually going to be able to do high ticket sales. But once I joined entry level sales, and they taught me that you don't automatically jump into the closing position. You got to make your way up from an appointment setter position, and then you can hit closer once you reach a certain amount of sales made, calls made, etc. And basically they just taught me what it is to be an appointment setter, how to connect with people on Facebook, LinkedIn, and just stuff like that, just to book an appointment for the closer. And also because of that, I was able to land my first gig with coaching sales, and I'm just really appreciative of what they taught me, and just how far it's gotten me already. Like, I did not expect to have my first gig that shortly after. I mean, it wasn't short. I had some stuff going on at the time as well, but just like that, once I began on that job search, they were a great help, and it just helped me land that gig with coaching sales. And what Daniel was able to help me with, first of all, was the shift of mindset. Because like I said, I was looking for a closer person for 3 months, and he just snapped me out of that mentality of, you can't just hop into this high paying position and just expect with not to have any experience with that. And just it was kind of like a slap to the face that I needed, if that makes sense. And basically he just guided me in the right direction, and that's why I feel like I was able to land this gig with coaching sales. Because like I said at the beginning, I was really contemplating, like, maybe high ticket sales isn't for me. But once I had a talk with him, like, he just revived that drive I had once I discovered sales, and just revived that and kind of amplified it at the same time, if that makes sense. And hopefully my new career in sales is the beginning of, well, the beginning of my life. Basically, I'm only 20 years old, and I just have a long way to go. And this is just a great beginning with Daniel on entry level sales. And the goal is with it just to, like, be able to not just raise myself but my family out of this poverty curse that the entire family, not just our part of the family, has been in for generations, basically. And just be the first person to actually bring us wealth, fortune. But anyways, I think the most valuable part of the program would be how involved Daniel is in the program. Like, honestly, like, he's everywhere. You ask him questions personally on live coaching calls. He's the one that directs them. He can, like, once he's done with, like, talking about what he's talking about for that day or that week, basically, he has a Q&A at the end, and just basically answers any questions you may have. If you're already in a gig and you have questions about what should I do in this scenario, he answered those as well. Like, he's really involved. Like, when I was going through the program, I just had a lot of questions, and he was answering them, like, through Messenger, and I just really appreciated that, because you don't see that in other types of programs. The owner isn't involved, if at all. And just basically that's what I see the biggest value of it. Daniel being really, really involved, and he's a busy man, so I don't even know how he's really this involved in it, if that makes sense. And in terms of what it taught me about the financial freedom and geographical freedom, and in that sense, like, the geographical freedom, like, he taught me that that's a part of this process anyways. Like, that's a perk of it, of joining high ticket sales as a remote position. But the financial freedom is dependent on you. How hard are you willing to work, and if you're willing to put in the work, because, like, in the high ticket sales space, it's more dependent on you than it is, like, it's not like a regular 9 to 5 or anything like that. The more work you put into it, the more it's going to give back. And the more work you put into it, Like if your goal is to become a closer like me, then the quicker hopefully that you're able to move up to that closer position. And that's basically what the testimonial for Daniel and entry level sales. And I just want to thank Daniel for everything that he's been able to help me with. He giving me that slap to the face and guiding me in the right direction. And if you're contemplating joining entry level Daniel and entry level sales, I highly recommend it, and you won't regret it.